They said, oh,
Code red on Alphalete.
yeah. W chat.
Just another day at Alphaland. We pulled up and we saw some dude taking a photo shoot with his phone. It's like you're faking a phone call. Like usually like when I fake a phone call, it's like when it's like I'm around Dima, it's like, oh bro, fuck off kind of deal. But Rover's just having a whole ass photo shoot with a phone. We're getting a little push. Shoulders with one compound movement. We went here because another one of the gyms that we went to, they kind of bolted the benches to the ground. So you can't use it on a Smith bench. And you know like I'm a slut for like, yeah, that. So, yeah, we're about to get back into it. Hopefully it's not too loud, because that's my main issue with Alphaland. Amazing gym, probably shits on all the other gyms, especially like having gym 2, especially during the day, and coming earlier in the day, where I get to show that I have red hair. It's not vamp hours. I'm about to shut the fuck up so we can actually get into this lift. We are starting out with a shoulder press, which I'm kind of feeling Smith, but Smith and then maybe dumbbells after. Feels pretty good for 2 plates. I feel like it's documented at this point, but bro, like I do more on shoulder press than an incline. Says something. I don't know. You know, like certain things that don't make sense, like my calves, kind of more so, or like your sexuality. We just started filming, right? We haven't even. This is our first exercise, and apparently the water broke. Like your mom. Apparently, we're back. But that's wild. So we're about to finish this up. Dude, I'm kind of like, because now it's just gonna be like a little fuck fest, like a clusterfuck of like putting like, it's gonna be like orgy in gym 1. Workout here, or do we go over to kinetics? Let's just walk in there, bro. But if it's like packed, I think we just kind of call this an L. But what the fuck? We just pulled up to another gym. Luckily, down the street, so it was only like a 10-minute drive per se. So we just warmed up a second time. So now we feeling extra warm. Apparently it was a city problem. It wasn't necessarily like Alphaland, but the city had like a pipe burst that affected Alphaland and some of the other buildings like nearby. But it's just the irony of me like talking about like trying to be a morning lifter and all that stuff, and then like it's like the devil trying to fucking like do some devil work and try to like force me to be like satanic and work out at night. But we'll see what we got here. We're going for 6 to 10. 10 being a working set. If it's like 6, count that as our top set. I don't know, Kanye's playing, so I'm a little zoned out. Haven't listened to Vultures yet. Fire, I got some of the Yeezy pods. Lifting the Yeezy pods would be crazy. They're built like deadlift shoes, but like socks. Oh, that's 10. I don't know if that's 7 or 8. We'll count that last 7. Last one. Nope. I was talking too much. This is like a lesson. This is like self-learning. I gotta shut the fuck up sometimes and push some weight. Same for you if you're watching this. If you're watching this in the gym, bro, matter of fact, you should be edging to this before you go to the gym. This is the pre to the gym. Once you in the gym, bro, lock the fuck in. I don't wanna be here recording. And at the end of the day, and the same thing with you, bro, if I'm in here recording, trying to like put out content, trying to like push y'all, push myself to push y'all gotta get in the fucking gym and do some work too. Quit being a bitch. Dima. So not necessarily how many reps I wanted to get. Just do a little drop set. You want to push past failure? I've like said it before, but if you're new here, since like, you know, since we fell off, if you train by yourself, like myself usually, or you have some guy stroking off to you, recording you in the gym, where you don't have that extra spot, it is good to utilize a lot of drop sets. Maybe not talk as much as I'm doing right now, but it's progressive overload. And you can progressively overload in like different fucking variants. And you working out by yourself isn't necessarily like an excuse for you to train like a fucking bitch and not necessarily progressively overload. I'm gonna put a 25 on. I'll probably do 275 and then I'll drop down to 2 plates. All right, let's teabag the bench real quick. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, I think I got like minimum. All right, I'm trying to like suck myself off right now, glaze myself a little bit. But I think I got like 20, in between 20 and 30 reps. We're spicing it up a little bit. I haven't done cable shoulder lateral raises in a minute. But it's kind of nice to like implement like different like ISO movements of where like you're targeting like both sides individually, just because you can really focus on necessarily like those muscle imbalances you have, especially if you're like somebody like me. You have a little bit of scoliosis. You're a little bent, you're a little crooked with it. You're not fully straight with it. Like demosexuality as mentioned earlier. Implementing different things like occasionally, and it definitely plays like a toll. It's like, obviously, I don't always gravitate towards every exercise, because there are the type of people, I feel like it's those science-based lifters who just want to go like, okay, RPE 10 on this side, RPE 10 on this side. And it's like fine to ISO things, but again, like, especially as an intro lifter, focusing on your compounds or different things where you're gonna be like bracing your whole body, or, you know, working indirect muscle groups, training indirect muscle groups. By the same time, you're focusing on something like, even if I'm doing lat pull downs, or fuck it, we're not even talking about compounds movements right now. We're talking about any exercise, as opposed to me just like doing everything as a scientific lifter, base lifter, where it's like form's correct and I'm trying to ISO something. Eventually at some point when I fatigue and I want to push myself past failure, and I start doing a little like force reps, right? I get the ego in it, right? I get my ego in the game a little bit. And I start going like butterflies with the shit. Now it's like, obviously like I'm being over dramatized with it. It's pushing my shoulders past somewhere that they would be able to, if, as opposed to me just like strictly staying to the rep scheme. I know I'm going on a little tangent, but just switch up your training. Following the same thing, whether it's you're doing like 3 sets of 12, is optimal to a certain extent. And whatever you follow might be working. But think about it like this, you could be doing something that works, but you could be doing something else that works even fucking better. That's all I'm getting at, bro. Just like switch it up a little bit. Like chop your cock, just like shove it in. You know how they like actually do the surgery? Yeah, just like switch it up a little bit. Sex switch is crazy. You don't have to go that crazy with it, but both Miss machines were in use. Your boy doesn't feel like doing any dumbbells on some incline. So we're switching up, and instead of doing an incline, which we normally do for like upper chest, we're doing this flat press. And this is like newer for this gym, but it's old. And if it's an old equipment that's still like not out of service, you know it's good because it's test the time. You're good, brother. No worry. But yeah, it's kind of interesting because it kind of like, the grips start out wide, but it like comes inwards, kind of like a dumbbell thing where you're kind of getting like that cleavage part of your chest. This is the most weight we've done. We've only done 2 plates. I'm yapping, trying to catch my breath before we go into our top set. 7 to 8 for a top set. Two plates. I got a cocky with it. It's the initial thing too, because it's not like a Smith where it's kind of like you take it out from the top. Because taking it out from the top is like better than a bottom. Nobody likes a power bottom. Power bottom sucks. As opposed to like a Smith where your arms are kind of blocked out in here. It's a lot easier to set up as opposed to something like this where you're kind of pin loaded at the bottom. I know like some power lifters. Shout out to me when a young Red. Shout out Lil Red in his power building arc. But I used to set up like a power rack and occasionally like force myself to focus on the bottom portion of my bench. And all that is gonna like really focus is like putting the isolation or the ISO movement of a bench and ISO more so of your chest, because the bottom portion of your bench is gonna like ISO a lot more of chest movement, and then the top portion is a lot of your tricep work. So being able to kind of like set up different variations or use different machines like this, because this is making my chest work.
This is a wild position, bro. I feel like I'm about to give birth. My water broke like fucking Alphalete. Goddamn.
The abs look good though for being fat. Link in bio for coaching. I'm not trying to be a dick, like RIP, but why'd they like place it like, the bench is right here, and in loving memory, bro, I just have to like mid-set, just like got bro, just like over here throwing the deuces up. Like, it's like, bitch, you think you're gonna get an extra rep? 110s, let's go. So that was 7, and that was a hard 7. The issue with this kinetics is there's no increments of 5 once you get past 100. So the issue is I think I could hit 115 relatively for 6. 120s, fuck no. But you know what? That past set with the 110s, we kind of like pushed past failure. Not push past failure, but we pushed to failure. That last rep didn't necessarily want to come up. So actually, I'm gonna just call it on that. But I just got body work. I paid for a grown man to touch me the other day. I think I'm about to start going back more. Dude, he was like getting really into my shoulders, basically because like on my left, occasionally I get like a little tweak that kind of like sets me out to where I have to like focus on more hypertrophy and less strength. But he really got in me. Not sexually, preferably, you know, maybe if I pay a tip, get a happy ending. But no, it feels good. Like actually, like those side lateral raises on some informational stuff, dude, I was like feeling like my actual like side lat, like not just like overpowered my front. Because typically when I do front raises, if I'm like slightly, maybe it's my posture, because I'm like slightly front, I'm like this, and I get a lot more emphasis on my front delt, I feel like. But right now, I don't know. This is wild. This is wild. Yo, normalize touching the bros. All the chest machines here are fucking humbling. Normally I can do like a full set. I'm just doing like a plate and a 25. But it's nice because it's like, it gives you more of a stretch. And the same thing if you're doing this or like, let's say like a chest fly machine, if you kind of extend it, so a lot of people like, it's kind of like leave it right here, but it limits your range of mobility or range of motion a little bit. So if you put it back a little bit, where you have to reach like this, and you probably have to bend with your elbows as opposed to like here, a lot less stress and being able to like kind of like press it as opposed to just trying to fly it while you're at full like extension. More range of motion, more gains, more bitches. Hasn't worked out for Dima thus far, but.
This is definitely national take shots at Dima Day.
Dude, any day we film is fucking take shots at Dima Day. Low posing. Do a side chest maybe? I'll call it a day. I'll try a side chest first. I've been practicing my side turn. Wait. Dude, I don't fucking know. How does that look on? Give me another pose. Oh, do a little spinal twerk. Call it a day. But done at the gym. Get me the fuck out of here. I'll talk to y'all when I'm not half naked.